Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a grand and glorious Friday morning. Sun shining, it's cool, it's breezy, awesome, perfect day for me, perfect day. Last night, anything but. Lightning, thunder, wind, all of it just coming at us from all directions. And my dogs were just going crazy. Oh, they hate that kind of stuff. And, you know, the lightning's flashing and they're just, you know, they don't know what to do. Well, I wondered about Isaiah and what he wanted to do. Wanted to do what, when, how, where? When God was calling him to be his spokesperson. Yeah, we have that in our passage from the Old Testament this week, Isaiah, the 6th chapter, the first 6 verses. It's often referred to as the call of Isaiah. But it opens with this scene of God sitting on the throne in heaven. And there are all these cherubim and seraphim and all that kind of stuff. And they're singing praises to God. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. Now, get that holy, holy, holy thing? 3 holies? Trinity? Yep, Trinity Sunday coming up. And I think that's partly why this is included there. So you have that sort of thing going on. And Isaiah is kind of dumbfounded. I mean, it seemed like the whole place was just falling apart with thunder and lightning, and oh wow, it was a mess. And now what's going on is Isaiah now says out loud these words: "Woe is me, I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips. And yet my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts." In other words, I'm going to die. Yeah, I'm going to die. I've actually witnessed God, and that just can't happen. No, you can't look upon the face of God and not die, because there's just too much that separates us as far as this whole holiness factor goes. Well, what's interesting is God doesn't take any excuses. When he calls you to do something, he's calling you to do it. We look through the entire Old Testament, and there's a lot of people called to do things. Moses, called to lead the people out of Egypt, and he was coming up with excuses all over the place. I don't know your name, God. I'm not a very good speaker. God just kind of knocked down all those things one by one and said, just go, Moses. How about the story of Samuel, little Samuel? He didn't even know God was calling him. He kept going and trying to figure out, what is that strange voice? Where's this coming from? But what I really like is King David. David, who was chosen to be the second king of the people of Israel. And his dad didn't even think God's going to, choose him when the prophet was going around and interviewing different people. So he left David out in the field to tend to the animals while the other sons were all inside getting interviewed. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes on with calls. And don't worry about it, because if God's calling you, you better just go. And that's what's happening here, because when Isaiah says, I am a man of unclean lips, basically he said, I got nothing to say. I'm just totally silent. I can't do this. And one of those crazy creatures that are there, a seraph, flies over and gets a hot coal and sticks it right in his mouth. Oh, that'll clean you up, brother. So all this imagery going on of God's holiness, but how it is God who is the one who's in charge. And it is God is the one who's going to purify us and give us the strength to do what he calls us to do. Now, what I like next is, it's kind of interesting. It's as if God is just calling out to everybody there, hey, I need to send somebody. Who can I send? Well, by this point, Isaiah figures, I think he's calling me. Here I am, send me. Here I am, send me. And that's where our passage ends for this week. And it goes on, the first words that God has for the people through Isaiah aren't going to put Isaiah in a very good position. No, they're going to make him public enemy number 1. But that's a little beyond our pericope. We're looking at God calling you and me for special task. And that task is, it's super special. You know what it is? Let's try. Love one another as he's first loved us. Okay? That's the message we're going to get all the way through the prophet Isaiah. Oh, there's judgment. and there's warnings, but there's also the hope that filters through that says, you know what, just let's let God take care of this, and let's just get our acts together in hoping and praying for one another, and just doing the things that he simply asks us to do. And that basically comes down to those words of Jesus in the New Testament. Love one another as I have first loved you. All right. Well, get out and enjoy this day. Plant some pretty flowers for Memorial Day weekend if you haven't done that yet. Make all your preparations. Yeah, up in our neck of the woods, it's going to be a little hint of rain here and there, but we're going to get plenty of sunshine as well. God's blessings be with you.